Everyone. Hope you guys are having a good Friday, good start to your Labor Day weekend. So currently I'm on my way to Beavertown Cemetery here in Kettering, Ohio. I've shown you guys this cemetery a few other times in the past, but if you're new to the channel, I thought about showing it to you. And then after that, we're gonna walk over to Delco Park, which is about half a mile from here. So originally there was a town near here called Beavertown, and it was the seat of Van Buren Township, named after President Martin Van Buren. So most of this area around us used to be farmland, and Beavertown was the only town in the township, and most of its residents, when they passed away, were buried here. Eventually, after World War II, Van Buren Township grew in population, and with a lot of people leaving Dayton after World War II, moving into the suburbs, and then eventually the city of Kettering was formed out of Van Buren Township, and then Beavertown just became a part of basically a neighborhood of Kettering. So now we have entered the cemetery, and I'll show you guys around. So this is the older section of the cemetery, from graves from like the early to mid 1800s. There's a lot of moss on these graves, and unfortunately some of them are worn down to the point where you can't really read what they say anymore. Luckily this one can be read. If you're just joining the live stream, I'm currently at Beavertown Cemetery in Kettering, Ohio, showing you guys the cemetery, and then later on we'll be heading off that way to Delco Park. So these graves right here from the early to mid 1800s. $1:18 in the morning. Gotcha. It's 3:49 here in the eastern U.S. So as I was mentioning earlier, some of the graves you can still read, but some of them unfortunately have been worn away over time. I live in Ohio in the U.S. So here's a newer grave. Guess it replaced a previous one. Yes. Yeah, I mean, you won't see me here at night, that's for sure, but during the day it's kind of interesting. I'm a history buff, so I love visiting cemeteries. This is like about the closest you can actually be to history. So right over here is a grave of a veteran of the Revolutionary War. John Bradford Sr. There's a plaque right there. There's a town here in Ohio called Marietta, and it actually has the most amount of Revolutionary War officers buried in it of any cemetery in the country. And the reason why is because a lot of Revolutionary War soldiers were given land grants in Ohio after the Revolutionary War. So this grave marker right here is made out of zinc. You can tell by how it looks a lot nicer than, unfortunately, a lot of the other ones, because this one withstands the elements a lot better than the ones of stone. So that's why, even though it was made in the it says 1902 when he passed away. So because of that, it's over 120 years old, but because it's made out of zinc, that's why it's still in relatively good shape. Hey, Olivia, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Currently at Beavertown Cemetery in Kettering, Ohio, just outside of Dayton. So we're at the cemetery right now. Eventually, we're going to head down that way to Delco Park. Hey, Cleo, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. At the historic Beavertown Cemetery in Kettering, Ohio. This grave right here looks like logs. I wonder if the person that's buried there was a logger. Yep, Ohio. No, just visiting the cemetery. I'm a history buff, so I love going to different graveyards and stuff like that, because it's about as close to history as you can get. Hey, Corky, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Not sure if this is the biggest grave in the cemetery, but it's definitely one of the biggest. So as I mentioned, most of these graves are from the early to mid 1800s, and then it gets to be more 1900s, 2000s in this side of the cemetery. Hey Paola, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Here's a grave of a Civil War soldier. So earlier, I told you guys to a grave of a Revolutionary War soldier, and that's his grave right over there. I want to show you guys the cemetery sign real quick. Yep, I am. So here's the sign right here for Beavertown Cemetery. First burial was in 1803. I've never been able to find the grave of the individual who passed away in 1803, but I assume that they're over there somewhere. But as I was mentioning earlier, unfortunately, a lot of the graves from the 1800s are illegible because they've got worn down over the years, and there's like moss growing on some of them. So as I mentioned, most of these graves over here from the 1900s and then into the 2000s, there's like a lot of like World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam veterans buried in this part. And there's also a little section for Civil War soldiers in the cemetery, and they are up where we right up in front of us. Hey, that's all right. Personally, I don't mind being in them because I'm a history buff, and this is about as close to history as you can get. So as I was mentioning, there's a lot of World War I, World War II, and other wars veterans buried here. For example, here's an individual from World War II that received the Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. That it is, thank you. I made a video of this cemetery back in the fall of last year, and all the fall colors from the trees here in the cemetery was absolutely beautiful. Might come back here in the fall. Hey, how are you doing, Isabel? Here's another World War II. Here's someone else who was in the Army. Marine Corps. Air Force. And here's the small Civil War section here in the cemetery. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Here's the grave of Samuel Wentz. He was in the 110th Ohio Infantry during the Civil War. And here's the little memorial they have here with a cannon. Erected in 1901. True. So we're gonna head over here real quick and show you guys some more like World War I, World War II veterans. Yep, that's right. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that, guys. Hope you guys are having a good Friday and the start of your Labor Day weekend. Here's someone who was in Korea. World War II. Here's someone who was in Vietnam. So now we are leaving Beavertown Cemetery. Now we're heading over to Delco Park. It's one of the largest parks in Kettering. There's like a veterans memorial there for all the branches of the service. There's a pond, big pond you could go fishing at. There's a play area, mountain bike area, so a little bit of everything at that park. So I'm taking you guys the scenic way back. Having a great day. Hope you are as well. So, as I mentioned earlier, the cemetery we came from, it was called Beavertown Cemetery. And at one point, this whole area was called Van Buren Township. It was named after President Martin Van Buren. So, there was a little town not that far away from here called Beavertown. That was the town cemetery. After World War II, a lot of people moved to Van Buren Township from like Dayton and other areas. And eventually, Van Buren Township became the city of Kettering. And Beavertown was absorbed into Kettering. Now it's like a neighborhood of Kettering, but that's a little bit of a history of the area. You're welcome. So right over here is the City of Kettering Public Service place. You could drop your fall leaves off and like branches and things like that. I live in the United States and I live in the state of Ohio. In fact, there's a really big American flag right there. Hey, no problem, that's fine. No issue at all. So if you just joined the live stream, we were previously at Beavertown Cemetery in Kettering, Ohio. Now we're on our way to Delco Park, which is just up here on our left. We'll be there in about 5 minutes. I hope you guys are having a good Friday and the start of your Labor Day weekend. Gotcha, there you go. Excellent. What state are you from? But not in Ohio. Hey, that's all right. I've been to, forget the exact number, but I've been to over 30 states. Probably about 32, 33. Most of the states that I haven't been to are out west. But east of the Mississippi, I've been to all the states except Rhode Island, and then a few just to the west of the Mississippi. It's all right. Gotcha. I'm 27. If you're just joining the live stream, I just left Beavertown Cemetery in Kettering, Ohio. And now we're on our way to Delco Park. Hey, thanks, Corky. I appreciate that. Thank you. "24 people. Thanks, guys, for joining the live stream. Appreciate that. Now we just got to cross Dorothy Lane, and then Delco Park's on the other side of the road. Just waiting on the light, guys. 34 people. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the live stream. We just left Beavertown Cemetery, which is off that way. Now we are going to Delco Park, which is right here on the other side of the road. Just waiting on the light. All right. 42 people. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Alrighty, so we just entered Delco Park. It's one of the biggest parks in Kettering. There's a sign for it right there. So it has soccer fields right here. Off in the distance this way, there's baseball. So a lot of sporting events happen here. You know, I've never shown you guys the baseball area here at the park, so we're actually going to head over there first, and then we'll head up to the top of the hill to the Veterans Memorial. Hey, that's no problem. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'll catch you later, Corky. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good one. So here's the baseball diamonds here at the park. They have a lot of like summer league baseball here. Over there on top of the hills, the Kettering Veterans Memorial. We'll head over there in just a moment. If you're just joining the live stream, currently at Delco Park in Kettering, Ohio, showing you guys around. Right now we're currently at the baseball diamonds. There's a lot of things here. Yep, that's right. My name's Andrew. So right up ahead is the Veterans Memorial. We're heading that way right now. Then later on, we will head down the hill to the pond. Alrighty. No problem. Alrighty. So we're going to head around on the road over here, and then we'll enter the front of the memorial. That's all right. So right over here is a history of Delco Park. Probably for as long as I'm here in the park. Maybe about another 15-20 minutes, something like that. So we are now here at the Kettering Veterans Memorial. So it has a memorial to every branch of the service except the Space Force, because that was created more recently. So here's the plaque for the Navy, actually Marines. Here's the Navy. Here's the Air Force. That's all right. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Here's the Coast Guard. Okay. And here's the Army. And here's the flags of the branches. And then each memorial has a picture of different pictures of the services. So here's the Marine picture. Here's the Navy. Here's the Air Force. Here's the Coast Guard. And here's the Army. No problem. Hey Savage, how are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Currently at Delco Park in Kettering. Here's a plaque to Charles F. Kettering, the namesake of Kettering. He was an inventor that lived in the area. Thank you, thank you. Off in the background's the pond. We'll head there shortly. Here's some military contributions of Charles F. Kettering. Here's one more plaque over here, and then after that we'll head down to the pond. Looks like we have Goose City down there off in the distance. Yep. So this is about Kettering Medical Center. And Kettering College, which is the medical college attached to the Kettering Health Center. See you later, Corky. Thank you for watching the video. Appreciate that. So now we are on our way down to the pond. If you're just joining the live stream, currently at Delco Park in Kettering, Ohio. Showed you guys the Veterans Memorial, Kettering Veterans Memorial. Now we're on our way to the pond here at the park. There's a neat little sculpture in front of us. They have different sculptures at different parks here in Kettering. Rockway is made in Ettenheim, Germany. Got some ducks over there, and then a ton of geese over here. So now we're heading over to the dock. So here's the dock. It's a pretty good place to go fishing. There's a hole here they need to fix. So now we're going to head back on the path, and we're going to go all the way around the pond. I think there's a little turtle right there in front of us. Yep, he just put his head under. So they have a little shelter over there for events. There's a play set area over there. So there's a lot of things, a lot of amenities here at the park. And speaking of parks in Kettering, Yesterday I was at Pine View Park. It's on the southern side of town near Centerville. I made a video of the park last night and I posted the channel this afternoon, so please feel free to check out that video. A lot of nice parks here in Kettering. Yep, I've been there quite a few times over the years. In fact, I was there, I think back in April, I did a live stream there. Fortunately, I wasn't able to show you guys that much because the connection in there isn't great, but definitely love the museum. It's definitely one of my favorites. So if you guys saw my live stream from, I believe it was Wednesday, I was going through the Greenmont neighborhood of Kettering. I mentioned a factory that was built during World War II for war production. This is one of the sides of the factory right here. Park goes alongside part of the factory. There have been different operations in it over the years, and they just recently shut it down. But as I mentioned, during World War II, there was a lot of things that were made for the war effort in the factory right over there. Delco Park is definitely a nice place. Oh yeah, no kidding. Here's a whole flock of them right over there on the other side of the pond. There's at least 100 over there. Exactly, they don't. That much is true, my friend. Oh, we got a turtle. About half of them are still in the water and the other half are now on land. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, that's just another example right there. Yep, of how crazy they are. Yeah, I've had some hiss at me in the past, but thankfully nothing really crazy has happened. We have some turtles right here. Yeah, that is true. Yep. So up ahead is the mountain bike area. And they have beach volleyball off that way. Another group of geese just took off. So over here on the left is one of the entrances to the old factory. So we're gonna head over that way right now. So as I was mentioning earlier, this factory over here was built during World War II. It was I forget exactly what they did in the factory, but I know they produced war material for the war effort. Then about a mile to the north of here, there was a neighborhood called Greenmont, and a lot of the families of the workers lived there. Yep. Yep. So like I said, this was one of the entrances right here to the factory. So right down here is the little Beaver Creek. I've shown you guys creek in different parts of the town, particularly in State Farm Park, which is about a mile and a half from here. So here's like one of the checkpoints of the factory. So here's the mountain bike area. Every once in a while they have like competitions over here. So right here is where they end. And then right over here is the stirring up area. And over here is the beach volleyball court. Well, that about wraps up for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Saw a lot in the video today. So, please like the video, please comment on the video, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.